Let's go to our next team within this division that we're going to be talking about, and it is the Las Vegas Raiders, most notably bringing in a new head coach in the form of ex-Seattle Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll. They've also brought in Geno Smith, new quarterback in town. They also brought in re-signed Malcolm Kuntz, brought in Jeremy Chin, Alex Kappa, Jermaine Pratt, Landon Roberts. So they brought in a lot of Lecky Foch. They brought in a lot of sort of vetty guys who have done the hard years, I suppose. But they unfortunately lost Trayvon Merrick, Nate Hobbs, Rob Spillane, Divine Diablo. Reading the names they've brought in, it's almost like they've cleared out the older guys who haven't been performing, have been a bit like they're just okay, and brought in the guys who are older who are like, oh no, these guys are like very good in their positions. And then when you look at the draft, didn't have a first round pick. They just went to the second with Jack Beck at pick 58. And then around 40. What?
Who did Ashton Jeanty go to?
Is your cheek hurting? Because I think my fishing rods just got caught in your mouth and I'm reeling you in, mate. You think I forgot about Ashton Jeanty? You kidding me?
Me and Adam were very worried then.
I had you all fooled. Oh, if you can't hear it, but I just slapped the knee because that was such a great comedic moment by this guy. Of course, I didn't forget about Boise State running back, the phenom that is Ashton Jeanty. Pick number 6. Boy, am I excited to see him play.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I think he's probably the player I'm most excited about seeing play.
I'm sorry, LaDainian Tomlinson 2.0. I think I said that. Experts have said that. I mean, Jeanty's an inch or two shorter, similar weight, but he can do everything. We've seen that, right? And I mean, we got him. I think it's an exciting time to be a Raiders fan, even though they're going to be one of those teams where they obviously won't have a winning record, but you're going to see building blocks in place coming slowly. I was a bit skeptical about Chip Kelly as OC because I remember him as a very poor head coach of the Eagles and the Niners. However, great when he was leading Oregon in the back end of 07 through to 2012, and also obviously just helped Ohio State win their championship. So he clearly is a good offensive mind. So I think I've got past him being poor in the NFL to be like, he's got Pete Carroll above him and he's got playmakers. So I think they're going to be maybe like the way we said last season that the Cardinals would be exciting to watch, but just not win, close games. But they're still going to be competitive in a different style. But yeah, I think the Raiders are weirdly going in the right direction. You know who that's down to, don't you? There can only be one man who has helped change the culture, a certain minority owner.
I thought you were about to say a certain minority. Oh, Tom Brady is absolutely not a minority.
No,
it might be a minority in wealth, but
the GOAT. He's changing Birmingham and he's changing the Raiders.
It's so nuts how he's involved in Las Vegas and in Birmingham. That is so
the crossover
wild.
We need. Get the Raiders to London next year. Ashton Jeanty at St Andrews.
Imagine carrying the flag for Birmingham as they come out of the tunnel. Jeez, that'd be so good. Adam, are people underestimating how much of a change this might be in Las Vegas? Because Pete Carroll, he's had a year out the game. He's he is older. He wasn't looking, he's not at the age where he's looking somewhere to rebuild. They made quite a statement thing by bringing in Geno Smith, who did play under Pete in Seattle. And not a bad quarterback. Did a lot of good in that Seattle offense and in that Seattle team. Again, with a defense that's not been particularly great. Now, I'm not saying the Vegas defense is great. I think it is definitely an area they need to work on. But from the names I was saying, they've brought in some older guys who would really be complementary to that defense. And then with the arrival of Ashton Jeanty, who is on this hype train, and rightly so in my book, but we've seen hype trains before and it can go badly wrong. I don't think it will with Jeanty, but you have to sort of temper expectations a little bit. But it's a new look from And it's wise moves. These are not stupid moves made by the Raiders this offseason. There's a load of these franchises out there that makes you think, oh, they're going to turn a corner, new coach, new this, new that, and still make very stupid moves.
Yeah, I think they've made a lot of really good moves this year. They really have. I mean, Pete Carroll obviously is one of the main reasons for it. He's brought Geno Smith in, who he had at Seattle. So you've got a reliable quarterback who can do a job for you and can do that for the next few years. It feels very much like this is a 3-year project rather than just the one. I think that's the sort of plan with it. And I think they look pretty good. Like you say, they brought in a lot of veteran players who I think can do well for them. I really like Chip Kelly going in there. He kind of brings that creativity from college, which I think sometimes it's the NFL is lacking a bit, but because he's been in the NFL so much, he understands that he can't just completely go mental like sometimes you can do in college. So it's not going to be all out offense. They, as you say, they brought in good players. Drafted really, really well, I think. Aside from just Ashton Jeanty, I think Jack Besh is a solid wide receiver. They've got Dante Thornton, who real big, tall guy who can run incredibly fast down the sideline. So he's going to be great. They helped the Lions out, even with their sort of round 6, round 7 picks of JJ Pegues and Charles Grant. It's like they were both decent D-line and O-line guys that, me and Andrew both spoke about them when we did the draft show. And I think very, very quickly they've become this very sort of tough, physical, run-first team who also has the ability to have someone like Brock Bowers on the team who can they've got options that they never had before. I agree with you about the defense. I think it's a little bit too thin, really, when you look at all of it in total. And I think because of that, they probably won't be having a winning record, partly because of the division they're in, but partly because the defense isn't quite up to it at the moment. But it's probably for the first time in quite a few years, the Raiders and Raiders fans are in a position where they've actually got the ability to be a little bit excited going into this season and can feel that this is the start of a building block. So for me, they went 4-13 last year. I think if they can get 8 wins, I think that is doable for them and that they can become a competitive team who actually you want to watch as well. And I think that's great. That's a really good start. And then you can build on that again next year. One thing I would say is Christian Wilkins leaving is a big blow for them, and I don't think I think because of the way that their squad is at the moment, I don't feel like they can cope with too many of them sort of blows in order to, they need to keep everyone fit throughout the season to do as well as they can.
Strange sitch that, eh?
Yeah, really weird.
You want to talk about it, or? I mean, there's not much to be said. He apparently kissed a teammate on top of the head and then got reported, and then the teammate said that he wasn't happy about it. There's nothing more to it really at the moment. I'm sure more may come out. I'm sorry, but I think there's 31 teams that are looking at that and going, we can go and get Christian Wilkins here and be a lot better better tomorrow, and he can kiss whoever he wants. I don't know. It's
Jags are linked with him. I saw on
the Jags. Oh, so he doesn't want to win Super Bowl then?
No.
That really caught me off guard. That was good.
Well, yeah. Again, there is holes in this defense, but they've got one of the best edge rushers in the league in Max Crosby, who's just a wrecking ball. And like I said, I think they've reinforced. And when you look at it, a lot of them are backups, but they're just very solid backups. And I think that does put. I mean, I compare it very much to when we talked about the Bears in the NFC North one. I think if this team goes 8-7 wins and looks like it's going in a direction, you could be probably really happy with that. I think as a Raiders fan, you can definitely be happy with that and really build on something for the next year. It's very interesting what you said, where this feels like maybe for Pete Carroll, it's a 3-year project. I can't see this being 4 wins to a Super Bowl in 3 years. I think it may get to a good point where they're making the playoffs. But I think if he's doing that, I think he's going to go, we can push this a bit further. We can push this a bit further. We can push this a bit further. What I hope for Ashton Jeanty is it's not like a Saquon in New York situation where it feels like he's wasted. He gets an injury, doesn't quite bounce back, sort of whittles around a little bit. And we don't really get to see his full talent sort of off the bat. And that's what I'd really like to see. Hopefully, running backs do burn out quite quick at a young age rather than going the distance. But I hope that he's someone who can play for a very long time in this league because I am really, really excited about him playing.